Okay, so this is the second part where I apply these fluid art decals. So what I do is over a bare nail, I will put on one thickish coat of a clear coat or base coat. Then over that, I will take the decal that I have sort of cut down to size, but not really. These were pretty small to begin with. And the thing that I did do here is because the cuticle on my thumb is almost straight across there, the line, I cut that so that I have less trimming to do. So what I'm doing is just really gently smoothing that down onto that still wet clear coat. And if it's thick like this one that I didn't smoosh, then you can be a little bit more firm in your pressure and push down a little. The other decals, the ones that I smushed with the stamper, were a lot thinner, as to be expected. And the pro of that is that they didn't take long to dry at all. I mean, they took about 10-15 minutes maybe to dry fully to apply. So that's nice. This one that I didn't smush at all and just swirled around was still a little wet on a thick edge by the time I applied the other decals, which were all fully dry. So while this is a little easier to work with, I think the thicker one, because they're less prone to tearing, you do have to let them dry a little bit more. So that's firmly down, and I'm gonna let that dry and harden fully because I don't want to manipulate and cut around it while that's still wet and still can be moved, sort of. So what I'm gonna do is go to my index finger, which I did that to a few minutes ago. So now this should be fully stuck on and dry. And so now I can go in and cut off the excess. And as you can see, this one I didn't do anything with. All I did was I tried to sort of line up along one side so that I had less to cut, but really that's all I did there. And so I'm gonna go in and cut this side. Okay, cuticle scissors. Then I'm gonna use this tool, which I really like, to cut the excess off along the side walls, because it is very difficult for me to get the scissors in there close enough, because I have, as you can sort of tell, really high sidewalls, so it's very difficult for me to get the scissors in there and to cut it precisely. Whereas this, I can just line up with my sidewall and just push down, maybe wiggle a little, and take the excess off like that. I can also do it at the cuticle line, which is a little more difficult because this is a straight edge, and other than my thumbnail, the rest of these are sort of curved. So I have to go around sort of semi-carefully, but but it works really well for this. And I'm actually going to leave that alone. Okay, so, and I'm going to cut off the excess here. Okay, then I'm going to go underneath and cut the free edge and smooth that down. And I have a little bit of corner to do. Okay. Then along the free edge, I take my glass file and I'll smooth any excess that remains. And it's going to be covered with top coat anyway along that edge, so I'm not horribly worried about it, but I don't like any excess hanging out. So, and this is without any acetone being applied yet. This is just cutting out the excess around the nails, and then after I finish my thumbnail, I will go in and clean up with acetone. But for me, this is the best way that I have found to apply decals.